के सबसे विकसित देशों के अंदर। जब हमारा बचपन था तो हम ये पढ़ा करते थे, we used to read that we belong to the poor country, and we used to read it, top world's list, पूरी दुनिया की लिस्ट, and we used to be somewhere at the bottom. The situation is changing, dramatically changing. Economic powers, we are among the top 5 countries of the world. Today, in terms of defense power, we are among the top 5 countries of the world. Today, in terms of number of startups, we are among the top 5 of the world. Today, in terms of number of scientists, we are among the top 5 of the world. The situation has completely transformed within my own lifetime. This is my own lifetime. From the bottom 5, and that too in my own lifetime. जीवन and this parivartan, this change is happening at the pace that we could not even dream about. Isn't it a matter of pride? क्या ये वाकई गर्व की बात नहीं है कि आज से 50 साल पहले हमें ये कहते हुए डर लगता था कि हम दुनिया की सबसे प्राचीन सभ्यता संस्कृति के वारिस हैं, जहां पर अहिंसा ही सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट माना जाता था। हम नहीं बोल पाते थे, जब हमने अपना बचपन गुजारा तो हमें पता नहीं क्यों कभी ये बोलने की हिम्मत ही नहीं हुई कि अहिंसा दुनिया के लिए सबसे शानदार विरासत है, और वो विरासत हम लोगों ने ही दुनिया को प्रदान की है। आज पूरी दुनिया ये कह रही है कि इस दुनिया को अहिंसा की जरूरत है, शांति और अहिंसा के रास्ते पर चलने की जरूरत है। और ये बात आज पूरी दुनिया मान रही है कि इसी भारत की भूमि ने हजारों वर्षों पहले पूरी दुनिया को अगर अहिंसा, शांति और एक सुखमय जीवन का जो संदेश दिया, वो हम ही लोगों ने दिया। The world is changing, the world is evolving, and we are going to witness emergence of new India. I wrote a book on Modinomics because I believe that a new chapter of economics is now emerging. New chapter of economics is emerging, and that is Modinomics. Modinomics means development of economic policies which are purely coming out from India. The economics policies that we have been importing for last 30-40 years we are now going to emerge, and we are now going to witness new economics, and that is Modinomics, economic policies which are designed and developed within India. The disciplines of development are emerging from our country. There is a huge difference between West and East, and this difference is beyond understanding for us. But this difference is now very subtle, taking a new shape. For the West, these disciplines are different. The discipline of management, the discipline of sociology, these are all different disciplines. Or in Modinomics, all these disciplines combine together to form one single discipline with the ultimate aim of bringing happiness, bringing greater smiles, bringing greater positivity, and that is the new discipline that is now emerging. We must understand that do justice to the world by focusing on different disciplines separately. We have to bring them together to create overall happiness. The COVID-19 is a new chapter in the world. New chapter in the world because many things which were long overdue are now happening. The world is now witnessing greater trust, greater focus on creating happiness. So we should be happier. Now, happiness has become the most important discipline all abroad because all the disciplines are combining and now focusing on happiness. The increased emphasis on creating a new kind of work culture. You are talking about work from home. You are talking about a work environment where it is the new technologies that are dominating and creating better work inputs. The corona crisis was, in a way, if you look at it in today's context, in a way, it is creating new work culture. Organizations are now witnessing new work culture. And we in India are also witnessing major transformation. The role of India has now completely changed in the world. The role is way it is drifting. My previous speakers have all mentioned about the importance of Atmanirbhar Bharat. You might be, witnessing that the so-called GDP growth rate is something like touching 20% in the quarter which has just ended. The revival of the economic activity is taking at a very sharp pace. And a new India is emerging. Everyone among Indians, youth, is today talking about startups. Every young person is today talking about startup. The past is gone. We are happy that the past is now over. We had carried on our shoulder the legacies of the British Empire for too long. Britishers had left, but we continued with the legacies too long. We had to shirk off this burden. Now we have shirked off. The youth of today are no longer talking about clerical jobs. They are talking about startups. That's a good beginning. Now, even if 5% or 10% of the youth are talking about startup, I'll say this is a great beginning. The brightest, the most promising, the most outstanding youth of today are talking about startups. This is something that is really an occasion for us to celebrate. Yes, this is a matter of celebration. We should be happy at it. Innovation is the new buzzword. Every one of the youth is talking about how to create innovation for helping the society. A large number of changes are taking place, all driven by youth. Look at what these people are doing. 17 years, 18 years, 19 years, 20 years, 22 years. These small kids, what they are doing, every one of them is talking about social innovations. Every one of them is willing to connect back to roots. Yes, that is something positive. People in India are trying to rediscover India. And the world is trying to rediscover India. World is, in a way, taken aback by India. The changes are taking place massively. Everyone in India, the particularly youth, is talking about reviving India. Is talking about reviving Indian culture, reviving Indian philosophy. Every one of the youth is today trying to plant trees, trying to revive the Indian philosophy, Indian practices. Social innovations are taking place. Massive number of social innovations are driven by youth. Large number of youth are now introducing innovations. COVID time introduced a tough challenge, and these challenges have been faced by the youth in a very bold and beautiful manner. And they have introduced, because when there is a challenge, there is reaction, and the reaction is in the form of some innovation, you know, and these innovations are emerging. New business opportunities are created by the youth. Who are driving, who are introducing new business ventures? Youth. Every one of the youth is now raising new business ventures. For example, talking about Ola bikes. Ola is now bringing bike, which is electric bike. These kind of so many thousands. I'm not here to praise one individual or one organization. I'm just here to praise the youth at large. The way the youth are coming forward to bring innovation, to bring solutions to our planet is commendable. The focus of the world is now shifting from concretizing the world, the major cities, to now we are shifting back to bringing happiness in villages, in towns. This is beautiful thing. We must welcome it. The shift of the world is now shifting from economic policies which have completely destroyed the world. I must say, the economic policies which destroyed the world substantially, the developed countries pursued those policies which destroyed our ecosystem, destroyed our the nature, destroyed and created such technologies which are massively harmful for our economy. And they introduced those products which were very, very destructive. All these products which big brands are selling, they are directly or indirectly destroying our ecology. Now we are returned back to roots, and this leadership is now being taken care by the youth of India. This new leadership is emerging. I am connected with a group of youth, Lokayan. What they are doing, they are bringing Kabir Yatra into villages, not in metros, not in Delhi, Mumbai. Kabir Yatras are taking place in villages because that is the new focus. The happiest time people now spend is in villages, right? Earlier, people used to feel pride. Look, I went to a five-star hotel. And today, people feel pride. Yes, I'm going to a village. I'm going to a village. I'll be enjoying the village life. I will be enjoying the folk music. I will be enjoying the folk culture of India. I'll be enjoying the rich heritage of India. People are saying it with pride. This is the emerging India. And who is leading it? The youth. The youth are leading it. And remember, which are the most promising products the world is loving today? Well, the most promising products are hardcore traditional Indian products. And they are now making a big news across the globe. We are going to witness this, the entire world is going to witness this. The thought itself is making some people shiver. Some people are talking, some 50 universities have today combined together. They organized a conference in the last week's conference on global Hindutva. It is, of course, it is understandable that the world is not able to, appreciate the rise of new India. It can be understood, but they should react in a more positive manner. Their reaction was negative. Their reaction was very, very pathetic and very, very negative. It is something the world should appreciate, and the world is actually appreciating. The intellectual people are just marginalized, but the majority of the people are today appreciating, adopting, and liking the rich Indian traditions, rich Indian practices. They're adopting it. The world is changing substantially. Yoga is being adopted all over the world. The basic, basic Indian philosophies, which emerged into this world thousands of years back are today reshaping, and in the name of new brands, in the name of new presentations, and this is good. The post-COVID, there is going to be a metamorphosis in the field of management. The philanthropy was the basic philosophy of India for so many years. India always worshipped those people who donated for the world. We always said Mahan to Ashok or to Harshvardhan because they donated everything for the world. So philanthropy was the basic, and today it is becoming the most important philosophy for the world. CSR is the most important buzzword all over the world. Companies are now investing heavily into CSR with with the high sense of pride that look, we are also contributing to this world. We are also contributing to the development of this world. This is something which the world is learning from India, and we should be proud of it. And this is changing across the globe. The new management philosophies are going to emerge. The youth of today, you people to whom I'm talking, you have to write the new discipline of management, new theories of management. The old theories are obsolete, and new theories have to be written. And those theories you can recreate by connecting yourself with Indian roots. As I said, the CSR is the most important buzzword, which obviously has come from Indian roots of philanthropy. Similarly, the in between we had 3-4 decades when companies were just focusing on profit making. All these are obsolete now. People used to talk about human resources. All this is obsolete now. Now nobody is talking about human resource because it is the human being whose happiness is our ultimate end goal. Why do you call them resource? Call them their happiness as the end objective of your life. This is a major transformation, and these transformations are now being witnessed by the globe. We are creating the world, we are changing the world, we are playing the most important role of shaping the new world of tomorrow. And the youth are the most important creators of this change. I request all the youth who are listening to me to stop being the followers of the West. Revive the Indian hidden in you, revive the bold Indian hidden in you, connect with your roots, and tell the world very proudly that yes, the new philosophies for the world will be created by people like you, which will focus on happiness, on ahimsa, on creating a world which would be really a beautiful world, which will be connected to the planet, connected to the nature. Enough of the devastating policies. We do not want any devastation of this world. We want to connect back to the nature. Let the nature be the center of our planning. Let the nature become the most important center of all our planning. Economic planning must now give due emphasis to the nature. I request every one of you who is listening to me, if you really want to learn management, let us connect back to villages. If you get your time for summer internship, spend your time in villages. Spend your time in village ecosystem. Think about creating new business ventures which are around the village economy. Think about creating new business ventures which are around trees, which are around our own economic philosophy. So you have to give to the world a new economic philosophy which will focus on nature, on ecology, on connecting back to our roots. That is the most important challenge as well as the most important responsibility on your heads. COVID 19 has shaken the world, but in my opinion, the the world was due to a major change. This major change has created a disturbance which will settle down once again if you people rise and give to this world the new philosophy which will connect the world with the planet, with the nature, connect the world with the basic fundamental philosophy of living with the nature.